Welcome to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple, with Rachael Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket, thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.
Whispering Loudly is a Workshop Whisperer podcast. Hello, how you going? I'm producer Mel and I'm with Rachael Evans today. We hope you're having a good week and we really appreciate your support on something. Don't worry, it's not a big favour. We just want you, when you finish this podcast or pause it now, to go to your app, wherever you listen, and leave a review. We've got people listening on lots of apps. People listen on Castbox, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, which is where Rach is at the moment. She's got a review for us.
Yes, this one came from Tony. He says, on point, 5 stars, exactly what I need to listen to driving to my automotive workshop in the morning.
Perfect.
Thanks, Tony.
Yes, so good. Coming up next, a JFDI on taking a break.
JFDI, with the Workshop Whisperer, Rachael Evans, a coaching masterclass for the brave.
We're so excited to join you today for a JFDI with Rachael around taking a break. A lot of workshop owners find it really hard to get off the tools and get out of the workshop. Even when they do, they're still thinking about it, or they're on their laptop doing something connected to the workshop. But Rachael is here to tell you that taking a break is really important for your well-being today and your business.
That's right, Mel. We talk all the time about having systems in place and having the team follow the systems so that you have the opportunity to walk out of the business and have your own time.
Yeah.
And obviously that's super, super important. But what I find many auto repair shop owners do, or they have a mindset around, is they think that they can just go on and on and on and on and on, and think that that is not going to affect them long term. And they don't actually have an awareness around how not taking a break is already affecting their team, their relationship with their spouse, and the relationships that they have with people outside of that, their friendship groups and whatever. And there's plenty of stuff out there that you can Google on burnout and mental health and that type of thing. But I've seen too often what happens when you don't give yourself any time to refresh, to recuperate.
What have you seen in workshop owners? What sort of things do they display if people are thinking about whether they might be headed down the path of burnout?
Irritable.
Yeah, right.
So having a really short fuse, always tired, lacking in energy, losing it over really small things.
Okay.
And then there can be complete changes in behaviour and personality. So somebody that was quite easygoing seems to be stressed out all the time, or making silly decisions, or losing their temper at the drop of a hat.
Okay, so what if you are at the point where you think you might be headed down this burnout path?
First of all, if you don't believe you're at the point where you've got the team in place to be able to take a week off, or even a few days midweek, it's really important that you make your weekends count.
Okay.
So you've got to have a look at the way work's flowing through the business during the week so that you are not tempted to stay back late Friday night or go in on the weekend, go in Sunday afternoon to get a head start on the following day. You have to draw boundaries here, and you need to ask somebody around you to keep you accountable to these boundaries. So a couple of tips for emptying your mind. So you need to empty your mind of your thoughts, your mental to-do list that you've been carrying around with you all week. And you need to do that Friday afternoon, either before you leave work or when you get home, even as late as just as you're hopping into bed. Do a big brain dump of all the things that you think you haven't done yet or you need to get done. Get it all down, write it down, then it's out of your head. Then you can relax knowing that you've captured it, and make sure the weekend does not involve you going back to the workshop. Spend your time practicing being present, which is difficult when you might have, some cash flow issues or team issues, or you might be so busy at work that you just don't understand how you're going to get through the work. But it's important to do activities that allow you or force you to be present. So play a game of soccer with the kids, have a date night with your partner, practicing being right there in the moment, because work still will be there on Monday. Your customers will wait for you to get back on Monday. It is you that is actually putting the pressure on yourself to continue to perform, to get cars back to people who would wait if only you would say, won't be able to get this one back to you till Tuesday of next week. Just checking that you're okay with that. We, as business owners, we put pressure on ourselves to over-deliver, which is a fantastic thing to, under-promise and over-deliver. It makes for great customer service. But where it's taking a toll on you, on your mental health, on your physical health, just from a physical standpoint, you can't continue to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week for 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
That's going to take a toll. And I know young guys who are already having back problems because of the length of the workday that they do as the owner. So you've got to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and you can't do that if you're always at work. Now, you might be in the early startup years, where you're trying to get yourself off the ground. It is still just as important that you put boundaries around your time so that your body gets to rest and your mind gets to rest and you get to connect authentically with the people in your life that you really care about. Because this is also where relationships start to break down, marriages. And if we've got one partner who more than likely believes that they're doing everything they can to provide for the family, but that's coming at a cost that's physical and emotional and mental. And the other partner who might be constantly trying to intervene to assist or to remind them you're not having a break, you're working too long hours, you're not seeing the kids, they're wake-up calls for you that something needs to change. Sometimes just you being able to say no to work, that it will keep you at work after hours, is all it takes for you to rein in your work week so that you can have that downtime that allows you to refresh and it allows the people around you to be able to spend time with you, which is what they want.
So please don't skip out on taking a break, even though it may seem tempting and those to-do lists come thick and strong through your mind often. If you'd like to appear in a Workshop Whispers episode, all you need to do is email Rachael, admin at
workshopwhisperer.com.
Yeah, we'll hear from you next week with the Workshop Whispers episode.
Thanks for listening to Whispering Loudly, the award-winning Workshop Whisperer podcast, as featured by Apple with Rachael Evans, the #1 automotive business coach in the aftermarket. Thanks to Platinum sponsor Podium and Titanium sponsor Mechanic Desk.